What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. I thought I would do like a little life update video, and if you hear that noise, it's my dog chewing his bone. I feel like there's a lot that has been going on in my life recently, and I haven't made like very many videos for my YouTube channel recently, and there's just been a lot of stuff been going on, and so I was just gonna make this little video, kind of an update. So I am 5 days post-op. I just got my appendix removed, and this is also the first time in 5 days that I've actually gotten ready for the day. So I'm like, this is not what I've been looking like for the past 5 days. We were taking family pictures today, and I literally like just got ready for the first time in days. Don't be fooled by what you see, because this is not what has been going on. I'm 5 days post-op as I am filming this video. I don't know when it will go out, but that is just where I'm at right now. But like the last like month and a half has been crazy for our family, and especially me, like specifically. I'm gonna start like around like the beginning of August. Towards the middle of August, I started getting into like really good like workout routines. I wanted to start working a lot more on my health and wellness, and just making more conscious decisions about my health. I was really trying to get into like this really good routines and everything like that. And then one day I woke up and my foot was hurting so bad, and I didn't know why. And I honestly felt like it was just one of those moments where like, oh, it will just go away with time. And so I just kept doing like my workout routines. I kept going for walks. I kept doing all the things I wanted to, like to stay active. Me and my husband started doing like active things for our date nights. We went on a hike while my foot was hurting, and after about a week and a half to 2 weeks of my foot bothering me, I finally was like, oh, this is not right. I should probably go get it checked. And I finally like started calling doctors, and it took us probably 5 different calls to doctors' offices to find someone that could see me within the next couple days. And so I finally made a doctor's appointment to get my foot checked out. And at the appointment, they had me do an x-ray on my foot in different like positions, and then he also did like a physical exam on my foot. The x-ray didn't show too much, but the physical exam showed that I had a stress fracture. For a stress fracture, they put you in a boot, and you're basically just not supposed to like be on your foot for however long until it's healed and everything. So he put me in a boot. He told me that it would most likely be healed in 4 weeks or so. This was at like the very end of August, and I honestly remember like my first outing. I think I went to the grocery store with my boot on with my kids, and I just remember like being so relieved of pain, and I was able to like actually walk at the grocery store, and I was able to like actually function. And so like I was so thankful to be getting a boot at that time, because it was making me able to like do everything that I needed to do as a mom, and just like as a person. Like I was able to walk without pain, which is something that I wasn't able to do before the boot. I got a boot at like the very end of August, and then we had Paisley's 2nd birthday, which was super fun. With my boot, it took me a little bit longer to decorate and to do everything that I wanted to do for it. We were still able to have a fun day for her birthday and do everything that I think she enjoyed. So that wasn't affected. And then Russell turned 6 months, which is so fun. He's half a year. At this point, he's 7 months, and hopefully I'll be filming a 7-month video soon. At his 6-month appointment, we were told that he needs a helmet, or that he should be looked at to get a helmet. And so we decided to make the initial appointment to go get scans of his head and to just like look at it more closely and professionally. And I actually videoed that appointment, and I'm still like trying to figure out if I want to share that video. It's kind of just like what we did at our appointment and our initial reactions to being told that we do need a helmet for Russell. His initial appointment to get his head looked at is in the middle of September. We decide that we do want to get him a helmet, and so we do continue with those appointments. And he has his appointment to get pictures done and scans done towards the end of September, and that's also when my 4-week appointment for my stress fracture is. So last week we had Russell's second appointment to get his head scanned and looked at and to get it ready for a helmet. And then a couple days after that, I had my stress fracture foot appointment. I actually think they were on the same day now that I think about it. So I go back into the doctor's to look at my foot. We do another x-ray. He does another physical exam. And this time on the x-ray, he can tell that I indeed have a stress fracture, and he can tell that it's not fully healed yet. So I'm here thinking that I'm gonna get my boot off, and he's telling me that I have to keep it on for at least 2 more weeks, so 6 weeks in total. And then he said after those 2 weeks I have to wear like good soled shoes for about 4 weeks before I can wear whatever I want, I guess. But that's kind of where I am with my stress fracture. I'm still wearing a boot. And we're just waiting for Russell's helmet to get made, and so that he can get fitted for it, which will be in the next couple weeks. Russell's second appointment and my foot doctor appointment, I believe it was last Friday is when those appointments were. And then I had a very interesting day the next day on Saturday, and everything went very fast. Right now, it kind of just feels like a blur. It kind of started very normal. Got up, we went to my parents' house for a few hours. After my parents' house, we went to the outlets to go shopping, and just super randomly, we were at the outlets and my stomach just started hurting, like out of nowhere, and it was bearable, but it was pretty painful. And there's a couple times where I was like, I think I need to sit down, and so, but I just thought I had like a stomach ache or just something like that, and so I didn't really think too much of it. And throughout the next couple hours we come home and we're just hanging out at home, and for the next couple hours I just have like stomach pain, just like on and off. Not super big of a deal. What a phrase. Not a big deal. So I'm just like doing things throughout the day as normal. My stomach's hurting off and on, and then it gets to the point, I think it's around 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. when my stomach just hurts a lot, and it just like the pain just increased like a ton, and it wasn't going away. And so I finally was like, I should try to lay down different positions, try to get it to go away. I tried laying on my back, on my side, and like laying super still, and I tried using heat on my stomach to try to get the pain to go away. This is like very TMI, but I tried to get my bowels to move, which worked, and I did have a bowel movement, but that did not make my stomach pain go away, which then I realized was a lot more serious than what I thought. And so my husband's like, I think we should go like take you to the doctor, and I'm like, no. And I just keep trying to like make it go away by laying down different ways. That's my dog drinking water. Nothing that I'm doing is like working. So I call my mom and I'm like, this is what's going on. And she's like, well, you should probably go to like Instacare or something. We realized that Instacare closes in like 20 minutes. And so my mom like rushes to our house to like watch the kids. Aaron and I get in the car, we start driving, and I hit every single red light on the way to Instacare. So we ended up just going to the ER, and they checked me in. Thankfully, there wasn't too many people in the ER. It was me and this other guy, and I honestly felt so bad for him. He couldn't like stand up. Like he was in a lot of pain, I could tell. But they take me back. They do my vitals, they get blood work, they ask me a bunch of questions, they take me back to my room. I dress down to a hospital gown. The nurse comes in, she asks me a bunch of questions. She gives me morphine for my pain. I meet a doctor who's going to be like my doctor while I'm in the ER. I feel like I was answering the same questions just over and over and over again. But the doctor decides to give me a CT scan. So I do that. I go get a CT scan. I've never done that before. They come back and they tell me that like the CT scan, the results will be ready in like 20 to 30 minutes. And not even like 10 minutes later, my doctor comes in. He's like, yeah, you have appendicitis, and treatment for that is surgery. Okay, it's literally been hours since I started filming this video, but the kids need me and like everything started happening, so I like had to stop for a minute. And that's like basically all he said. And then he was like, okay, the anesthesiologist is gonna come in, and your nurse and surgeon and everyone's just gonna come in and do their jobs. Like, and so I never saw my doctor again after that. So after he left, anesthesiologist came in, asked me a bunch of questions, told me what was gonna happen, what was gonna go down. I like didn't really know anything about this surgery, and so I feel like the first time anyone was really telling me anything about the surgery was the anesthesiologist, which was interesting just because it's like that their job is just to like put you to sleep. So she was just like telling me like her parts about it, and so I was just I didn't know anything. After the anesthesia leaves, my nurse is in, and she is just so sweet. She literally could tell that I was like, what the freak is going on? And I was like, she could tell I was having like a hard time like processing all of this. And so she basically like kicked everyone out and was like, let's have like 10 minutes, like 5 to 10 minutes to just like take it all in. But she was like so sweet, and like she just let me chill for a minute, and like we hung out for a little bit. And then my surgeon came in pretty soon after that, and he started asking me a bunch of questions. He did not stop talking. I don't know what he was saying, but he was just like asking me tons of questions about my stomach, and then like wanted to know like all of my family history medically, and wanted to know just everything. And I was just like, I didn't even realize I was having surgery until like 10 minutes ago. Can we chill? But he was so like, tell me. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And then like halfway through him talking and telling me things, he just started wheeling me to the OR room. Well, I guess it was like the prep room. So like before they take you to the OR, you got to get prepped. And so that's where he was wheeling me, and I did not even know that's where they were taking me, and everything just happened so fast. And so like the whole time to the like OR prep room, he's like asking me all these questions. Then they prepped me for my surgery. They told me a little bit more about it, and then it was like the weirdest thing. Like they just started wheeling me away, and like I didn't realize that Aaron wouldn't be coming with me, and Aaron didn't realize that I was like leaving to go to the OR. And so like they kind of just like wheeled me and took me away, and like they told Aaron like he couldn't come and that he had to go like wait in the waiting room. And so we were both just like, oh, like didn't realize that like that was when we were supposed to say goodbye or anything. So we didn't say goodbye. They wheel me all the way to the OR room. I get on my own table, and one of the nurses is like putting warm blankets over me. And the last things that I remember was my nurse was taping my permanent bracelet to my arm, and then she was also putting on socks. I remember her putting on one of my socks, and then at the same time someone was putting like a mask on me, and that's all I remember in the OR room. And then I guess I was in there for 30 minutes, that's what Aaron said, and they take me out, and I wake up who knows where, a post-op area. It was definitely an area, it wasn't a room, and I'm just crying because that's what I do when I wake up from anesthesia. I just cry. I like cry. They told me that they were going to be putting a tube down my throat during surgery for like breathing or something. And so like I could tell my throat hurt, and it like still does. I like sound a little funny because of it. My throat hurt, I was coughing, I was crying. I was like, I honestly was like, where's Aaron? Like, why didn't they let him come here? But she was just like, you just need to breathe. And then I had like the shakes really bad, so I was like shaking and crying and coughing. And anyways, whole thing. And then they wheel me to my like post-op room, which is where Aaron was. I think they said like I could go home 6 hours after surgery, and that put me at 4 in the morning. And so I was like, I'll just stay. And so we ended up staying the night. They transferred me to a new bed, but it was the same room. I got like super nauseous. They ended up giving me some nausea medication that actually like put me to sleep. I was out cold. I felt really bad because Aaron had to sleep in a chair, and it like kind of reclined, but it didn't recline like all the way. Like it's nothing like the recliners they give you for like postpartum rooms or like mom baby rooms. So I felt really bad for him, but I think he figured out how to fall asleep eventually. The night wasn't too bad, and then woke up pretty early in the morning, and then it was actually really hard to get my nurse to come discharge me. me. I kept having to ask for her, and I kept having to like press my call button just to like get her in my room. And so finally she came around 9 a.m. She literally told us like 2 things, gave me some pain medicine, and then we were able to leave, and we got back home at 9:30 in the morning. We did spend the night at the hospital, and my mom stayed the night with my kids at home. Everything honestly happened like super fast, and I was like kind of in shock most of the time. We got at the ER right at 7 because that's right when the Instacare closes. So at the ER at 7, I was told I was having surgery by 8:30, and I was in the OR by 9. So it was all within like 2 hours, and then I was done with surgery by like 9:30, 9:45, I'm not sure. But it was just like super fast. Everything was just like a huge shock to me. Part of my recovery is that I can't lift up either of my kids, which is really hard for me. Like that's all I do every day, all day, is like taking care of my kids and lifting them up and taking care of them. And so that's like been my biggest challenge. That's kind of like where I'm at right now, is just trying to recover from surgery, from appendicitis, and getting my appendix removed, and recovering and treating my stress fracture. The next couple months for us honestly is just like doctor's appointments for me and for Russell. But I will say like there's a few like tender mercies that happened on Saturday with the ER and the surgery and everything going on. I think the day that it happened is a tender mercy, that it was a Saturday night, that my mom could stay the night because she works full time. So she was able to stay the night with my kids. The fact that it was general conference weekend, honestly, all of the red lights leading to the ER is a tender mercy, because like we end up going to the ER instead of Instacare because we didn't get there on time. Aaron and his job and how he's just able to take care of me. He's been doing farmers markets 3 nights a week all summer long, and this is the very first week that he doesn't have any farmers markets. Like the timing of it all, I think it was just all when it was supposed to happen. That's just like how I feel. Comparing appendicitis to birth, I definitely think birth is a lot harder, a lot more painful. That is all I have for our life update. Things are a little crazy right now. Like I said, I'm hoping to do a 7-month update for Russell. Hoping to edit the other videos that I have. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe and like this video and tell all of your friends so that we can pay for our hospital bills. Bye-bye.